For more than half a century, humanity has stared at the moon and wondered, when will we go back? But this time, it's different. We're not returning for flags or footprints. We're returning to stay. NASA's Artemis program isn't just a sequel to Apollo, it's the prologue to a new era of exploration, one that could redefine what it means to be human in the cosmos. But why did it take over 50 years to make this dream real again? And what secrets lie behind this colossal mission that could one day take us to Mars? Before we dive deeper into this cosmic odyssey, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Deep Space Explained, your portal to the greatest mysteries of our universe.
In the late 1960s, the Apollo program became humanity's most audacious adventure. In just a decade, we went from testing primitive rockets to standing on another world. Neil Armstrong's first steps in 1969 symbolized the peak of human achievement, proof that we could reach beyond our planet. But after Apollo 17 in 1972, it all stopped. The dream went silent. The rockets that once reached for the stars were left to rust in museums. So, why did we stop? And what finally reignited our ambition after 5 long decades of silence? The answer begins with a name: Artemis. In Greek mythology, Artemis was the goddess of the moon, the twin sister of Apollo. And in a poetic twist, NASA chose her name to mark the rebirth of lunar exploration. But Artemis is not about revisiting the past, it's about building the future. This time, NASA's goal isn't just to land on the moon, it's to live there. Artemis represents the first step toward a sustainable human presence beyond Earth. It aims to land the first woman and the first person of color on the lunar surface, explore the moon's south pole, a place no human has ever set foot, and prepare humanity for our next giant leap: Mars. But here's the fascinating part. Behind the public mission lies something far greater. Artemis isn't just about science. It's about building the infrastructure of an interplanetary civilization. The moon, once a distant light in our night sky, is now being transformed into a gateway, a stepping stone between Earth and the stars. It all began with Artemis I. In 2022, NASA launched its most powerful rocket since the Saturn V, the Space Launch System, or SLS. This uncrewed mission sent the Orion spacecraft on a 25-day journey around the moon, testing navigation, radiation protection, heat shields, and communication systems under deep space conditions. Every orbit, every maneuver, every byte of data gathered by Artemis I laid the foundation for something extraordinary: the safe return of humans to deep space. When Orion splashed down safely in the Pacific Ocean, it marked the successful birth of a new era. It proved that humanity's path back to the moon wasn't just possible, it was already underway. Next comes Artemis II, the mission that will send humans back to lunar orbit for the first time in more than 50 years. A diverse crew of astronauts will travel further from Earth than any human since 1972. They will test every system: life support, communication, propulsion, before the first human steps are taken again on the lunar surface. Imagine that moment. As Earth shrinks into a fragile blue sphere, the crew will witness the lunar horizon illuminated by sunlight, a hauntingly familiar sight not seen by human eyes in half a century. This mission is not just a test. It's a symbol, a bridge between generations of explorers. But Artemis III, that's where everything changes. this will be the mission that finally returns humans to the moon's surface. Using SpaceX's massive Starship human landing system, astronauts will descend near the lunar South Pole, a place of eternal shadows and eternal light. There, in craters colder than Pluto, lies frozen water, ancient ice that could be transformed into air, fuel, and life itself. If successful, Artemis III will mark the beginning of humanity's first permanent foothold beyond Earth. The moon will become our testbed for survival, our first space outpost. And from there, we'll take the next step: Mars.
But surviving on the moon is not easy. Temperatures swing from 120 degrees Celsius in sunlight to minus 170 degrees Celsius in darkness. There's no atmosphere to breathe or protect from radiation. So, how will astronauts survive for weeks or even months on such a hostile world? The answer lies in a revolutionary system called the Lunar Gateway. Orbiting the moon, this small yet powerful space station will serve as the central hub for exploration. It will provide docking ports, laboratories, communication systems, and living quarters. An International Space Station 2.0, but orbiting another world. From the Gateway, astronauts will descend to the lunar surface, conduct missions, and return for resupply and data transfer. It will be modular, international, and permanently crewed, a symbol of unity and resilience, floating between worlds.
And Artemis isn't NASA's dream alone. It's a global alliance. The European Space Agency contributes service modules for the Orion spacecraft. Japan's JAXA and Canada's CSA are building robotic arms, cargo systems, and life support technology. Meanwhile, SpaceX and Blue Origin compete to create next-generation lunar landers capable of ferrying humans and cargo back and forth. What was once a race between nations has now evolved into a collaboration of humanity. But it's also a competition, one that could define who controls the future of the moon's resources. Because make no mistake, the moon is valuable. Its soil contains helium-3, a rare isotope that could power clean nuclear fusion on Earth. Its polar craters hold frozen water, fuel for rockets, oxygen for life. Whoever learns to harness these resources first could reshape not only space exploration, but the global economy itself. Some skeptics still ask, why the moon? Why not go straight to Mars? The answer is simple. The moon is our training ground. It's only 3 days away, a perfect place to test long-term life support, radiation shielding, autonomous systems, and sustainable habitats before committing to a months-long journey to Mars. It's close enough to rescue astronauts if things go wrong, but far enough to challenge everything we know about survival. In many ways, the moon is humanity's sandbox for building civilization among the stars.
By the mid-2030-50s, NASA plans to establish a lunar base camp near the South Pole. This base will feature pressurized habitats, mobile rovers, solar power systems, and 3D-printed structures built directly from lunar regolith. Imagine astronauts stepping out each morning under an alien sky, working not just for exploration, but for permanence. Each mission will expand operations, test new technologies, and push human endurance further than ever before. Artemis 4, 5, and 6 are already in the planning stages, each building upon the last, expanding habitats, adding power systems, and constructing infrastructure that will one day support hundreds of people living off-world. But what comes next? Could this small lunar base become the blueprint for human colonies on Mars, the moons of Jupiter, or even farther?
Could the Artemis program be remembered one day as the moment humanity truly became interplanetary?
Science will be at the heart of it all. Every rock sample collected by Artemis missions could reveal untold stories of the moon's origin, and even Earth's early history. Some scientists believe that lunar craters hold preserved molecules from the dawn of the solar system, protected from sunlight for billions of years. Others suspect that the frozen water in lunar shadows could contain organic compounds, perhaps the very building blocks of life. Each mission could bring us closer to understanding how life began and how far it might spread. But beyond science, Artemis represents something deeply human. The need to explore, the need to go simply because it's there. Because every time we reach further, we redefine what's possible. When the first Artemis astronaut gazes back at Earth, suspended in the infinite black, they won't just see continents or clouds. They'll see all of us. Every war, every song, every dream compressed into a single fragile world. That moment will remind us why we explore. Not for conquest, not for fame, but because curiosity is in our DNA. The Artemis program isn't just NASA's mission, it's ours. It's the proof that exploration is not over. That after centuries of looking up at the night sky, we're finally beginning to take our place among the stars. So as humanity prepares to take its next giant leap, remember this: the moon is no longer just a symbol of mystery. It's a doorway to Mars, to new worlds, and to our own evolution. If you believe that the stars are our destiny, like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to Deep Space Explained, because the next chapter of human history isn't written on Earth. It's written out there.